Well, hello, everybody. It's your boy once again, Sam, a.k.a. The Train Mother Main, my Chessies and Bessies and Glessies. Once again, if you don't like the intro, I'm sorry, I can't help you, but I'm glad you're here. So it's been 2 months or so since I made a video, a month and a half. So I wanted that intro to be extra special. So welcome back. Ton of progress has been made since the last update. To be honest with you, I don't even remember what I covered in the last update, but I know for a fact it's been super busy. So there's a ton to go over. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, don't hold me to once a month or once every 3 weeks or twice a month, but I know I always say I'll upload once a month at least, but doing it as frequently as I can and as frequently as I deem necessary. Before I jump on into the actual video, the next logical step that I'm going to take is Foamageddon. As you can see, it's not really necessary to point out because it's obvious. I've been doing tiny sections of Foamageddon as I go. You know, like I'll do something here, vacuum it, be done. Do a little bit over here, vacuum it, be done. But I'm ready now to, I don't know about this weekend or next weekend, but, you know, between now and Thanksgiving, completely Foamageddon everything so it's done. And then I can go ahead and deep clean and vacuum her off. So, again, the next logical step is Foamageddon. So I wanted to make this video now, A, because there's been a ton of progress, but B, because I probably won't make another video again until Foamageddon. Maybe I'll actually document it this time. So, big thing, you could see the fascia, it's been done, but I added these nice little corner braces. I stained them up, finished screwing the fascia on. It looks a lot more clean and professional. Did the same thing on the inside of the corners. You just take the corner piece and then flip it around and it goes in nicely. So stained those again. I liked the darker contrast. Everything looks very nice and clean and centered. Did the same thing over here. Got the legs all nice and centered and attached to the ground. Stained up the legs. So you can see the fascia / bench work. It's actually more like pleasing to the eye. Like I said, it looks a lot cleaner, more professional. I'm not a carpenter by any means, but I've gotten a lot better at carpentry, building these 4 or 5 layouts now. So, you know, I'm trying to give you all the angles. Try not to move too fast, but you can see it just brings it all together, makes it a lot cleaner. You know, with the shelf brackets looking nice clean fascia, no rough corners and stuff. So that's been nice. That was a fun project to do. We'll start down here, work our way around. So we got the yard and industries is pretty much done. I'm just kind of tweaking the cement plant scene down here. I'm not 100% sold on that yet, but the track is going to stay. I just want to work the scene, kind of see where I'm thinking roads and stuff probably come up through here and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, the yard stub track and then take some box cars. Got our nice, I mean, it's a small yard, but definitely enough to store some cars and kick some cars around. So there's some various traffic here right now doing its thing. But like I said, definitely plenty of room to play around. Off the branch line from the yard again, we have the 2 industries that takes box cars. I'm going to fill all this in and add roads and junk and signs and blah, blah, blah. So we shall, you know, it all get worked in. Same thing over here with the cement plant. Got some covered hoppers there. I bought a few runner packs, micro trains. They came pre-weathered, which are sweet. You pay a bit more to get them pre-weathered, but I really liked the way they looked. If I bought them and didn't like them, I just said I was going to return them, but I was more than thrilled, so I'm like, I'm going to keep them. Again, so this is I don't think this was in the last video. It says Deer Run Coal Mine. I've never actually seen this kit for sale. Same with this elevator that came with it. I saw it and I got it for a great price from some guy who had a train estate sale. And I figure it looks really good with the cement plant. You know, I can have cement and then a loader to load the hoppers. I gotta figure all that out. So I do want to kind of paint it and get rid of the Deer Run coal mine. If anyone knows anything about this kit, please post in the comments or send me a link or something, because I do kind of want to find another one and, you know, maybe work it in more over here. I'm not, like I said, the track work's going to stay the same. I thought about adding like one more spur just right up into the middle. Might do that, but everything else is staying. I just need to work it all. So, but you can see, yeah, coming off the branch line, this whole area is going to be a nice big industrial park with the yard, which I'm happy about. Plenty of room for car storage and to build and kick around trains. Like I said, I've been doing some various miniature foamageddon, just in pretty much every spot, a little bit here and there. I'll spend 20 minutes and then just vacuum it up just to start getting rough shapes. So nothing's really changed. Like I said, I did build up a lot of the foam. Got this portal somewhat worked in. I gotta figure that out, but let's get a little run by. He's having trouble tonight, and I don't know why. He's the most reliable runner I have out of all the switchers. I think it's this car. This car's trucks like to freeze up, and it's probably holding it back. I've had this car for a very long time, and I only just am running it today. So I also have my Microtrains Pennsylvania Mail Express. Decided to run that. I also have a couple Microtrains actual Pennsylvania passenger cars, so I like to throw them in the consist. Got that running out nicely. The mine scene, nothing's really changed over here. Like I said, it's all full of coal cars right now. So nothing's really changed over here at all. You will notice in certain areas of the layout, I did paint the ground brown just because I was like, let me just do some painting, get it out of the way. It's something that could be done at any time. I'm like, got some time to kill. We're watching playoff baseball. Let me paint while the game's on. So we got that going. The biggest addition, what I'm most excited about, honestly, it's already like one of my favorite scenes on the layout. If you remember, here's the main, obviously. I just had this kind of beat up. It's an old passing siding. Comes down to over here, where I've got some pulled up rail and switches. I'm working on making that scene kind of, you know, dilapidated looking. So this track here, like I said, it was an old runaround, was just a maintenance of way siding, I was going to call it. And this was all going to be earthy. I'm buying all these locomotives, and I don't really have a place to store them. I wanted a freight house, an engine repair shop, a diesel repair shop, maintenance of way facility, all of that. So bought some more switches, used a ton of my old scrap track, and built this really old engine facility / maintenance of way yard. And I think it's come along pretty good. So it's got 3 stalls with 3 stall tracks. Obviously, then I added 2 more tracks back here. And I have a good portion of my locomotive fleet out here right now, the various chassis, PRRs. It's obviously maintenance of way and locomotives, so I've got a little bit of everything out there. One of the mail cars I put in there doesn't run very well, so I just kind of, you know, got a box car in there. It's where I park the maintenance of way train as well, so it's nice. I can have all my locomotives actually stored on the layout, or as many as I want to have out. And I'm really just working in the scene. You can see I kind of painted the ground brown, and I haven't done any detail work or scenics anywhere on the layout yet, but this will probably be the first spot that I do. Coming along super nice. I did make a little track with some wheels. I'm planning on doing a lot more minuscule detail like this type stuff. Especially in like this scene in the lumber mill. I've always been good about that, but I actually want, you know, a plethora of it, not just grass and weeds and gravel and ballast. I want, you know, little statement pieces, like something like this. Scrap track, scrap wheels, painted them all brown and rusty, different looking. Took me 20 minutes to make, but, you know, I can take this and put it on any layout now. So, super nice. Again, let me pull some of these out here just so you can kind of see. I've been really working on details. So you can see at one point, this might have been a bigger yard. Got some dead end tracks, got some pulled up rail and ties and all kinds of gobbledygook. I like that word. Pulled up. You know, each track goes to a different length. They're not just all straight tracks, except the 2 engine terminal tracks that go straight through. This left bay, I've got my Bachmann PRR steamer in there. These other 2 go all the way through. I didn't want all 3 bays to go straight through. A, because this back door has like a little man door on it, and it's just more, I could have more track, more storage, but it just looks a lot nicer, you know. So the steam bay for sure will stay like that, keep that away from as much dust as possible. And then the other 2, you know, I could have a few behind it and a couple parked inside or out front. You know, it's just a matter of musical engines if I want to pull something actually onto the layout. So again, super excited about that. Definitely going to have like some, you know, piles of ties and old switches and piles of track and loose rail, all that. So it's gonna really shape up. And then I'm thinking these are all old scrap pieces from the Mega layout. And I'm thinking about just like the abandoned looking track along here. Like maybe at one time it was something, I don't know, but that's why that's there. So again, it's kind of a new statement scene on the layout. And then again, this is all gonna be rolling green hills and trees. It starts to get more rocky and cliffy as we go this way. As you can see, I've done a lot of the brown paint up in here as well. I did a lot of work over here. Got the bridges worked in. This one's actually in. I need to put the piers in. It's not permanent yet because I need to, you know, glue down this track once the bridges are actually permanent. But got the bases here. Like I said, this is all going to be very steep cliffs, rock faces. I'm still not sold on putting in a water feature yet, but if I do, it'll be right here, like a waterfall, or I'm not sure. I don't want to speak out of context because I don't know. I really want to, but I'm super apprehensive. So again, nice cliffy. It's going to drop off into down in here, kind of retaining wall. So this is all like an elevation change, and then it'll go down into bridge 2, as I like to call it. You can tell I've done a lot of Foamageddon over here. And like I said, I know I've said it 6 times, but I'd be watching baseball and TV's right there. So I'm watching the game and I'm, you know, just dremeling and sawing, and I'll do it for 20 minutes, vacuum it up, and then I'm done. Then, you know, a few days later, do a little bit more. When I go to actually do Foamageddon, I probably will film and time-lapse it in the various areas I'm working. It's a mess. Your arms are tired. I estimate, well, first, before I even start Foamageddon, I got to take every piece of rolling stock off the layout, every building off the layout, and everything off all these shelves over here. So basically all my tools and stuff I'm working with, and put them in the back room because the amount of dust and foam just gets everywhere. So that right there itself, emptying the layout and getting all the tools away, that'll take me a half hour to get it all organized and situated. And then I actually have to get into all these areas, get it all to where I want it to be, and then vacuum, then continue on, then vacuum, then continue on. I guarantee you, if I started this right now at 5 o'clock, I would not be done till probably 10 or 11 p.m. tonight. And then that's, you know, including, then I got to vacuum up all the foam, look at the layout, get it back to spotless, and then hopefully it's exactly how I want it to be. At that point, I got to take my drywall putty. I might use Sculptamold this time because drywall putty cracks, but one of the two, and go and fill in all the seams or fill it up to ground level so it actually all blends together. So I bet you right now, like I said, I'd say I got probably closer to 6 hours of work invested in that, and it's laborious stuff too. So we're going to get to that here as soon as possible. I just got to get the gusto and we'll go for it. So, but yeah, you can see taking shape over here. Same thing. Did a little more ground paint, a little lighter color up over here. Gonna do, like I said, that little wheel track project. Gonna do some log stuff over here. Shout out to my buddy Brandon, Brandon Neese. He sent me a ton of real coal from Kentucky and real sawdust from his sawmill. He's got all kinds of little scrap junk parts. So filling out, you know, different junks and pieces of metals and real coal and the sawdust, all stuff that you can get pretty easily. But he sent me a 5-pound box of goodies. So thank you to him for that. I'm really appreciative. That's my boy. But we're gonna, you know, do similar projects over here, big piles of logs. You've seen how I do it in the past, but I really want to take it to the next level on this layout. And obviously I gotta kind of work all this in too. There's this weird little chasm area. This is all way too big. I'm obviously going to take it down and have it be like very like yarmulke sized rolling hills. No offense to Jewish people, but like the height and round of a yarmulke, like on land, not like a big, you know, piece of brisket, which, you know, so. And yeah, like I said, I'm kind of working in. The blue tape represents where roads might go. Like I said, I foam-a-geddoned over here, kinda. So I said it in the last video and probably the video before. These tall lights, they're super nice for when I'm working on a certain section. Like I said, I can just bend this. It's really helpful, especially. But I need to do lighting on an above bit. I need to do lighting above, like I said, one here and one here, and that'll light up pretty much everything over here. Over here is pretty good. This is all prime time because this light's right above it, but I need at least one in each corner, and then these can supplement that. Because when I'm done actually working on the layout, if I'm ever done, I'm not gonna want those there. I hate the way that they just sit in the middle of the room, but I have no other light source. I really wish I had one of these back there because then I'd be perfect. So, yeah, again, so you've kind of seen it all. Like I said, it is a lot of progress. Let me step back. I know there's no greenery yet, but even adding the bit of brown ground cover and doing some of the foam-a-geddon is really starting to take shape. Again, it's 65.5 square feet, my biggest layout ever. I'm working on it pretty slow compared to any layout except that very first one, and it's worth its weight in gold just to take your time and plan it right. Like I said, I'm just really happy with how finished the benchwork and fascia looks. It makes me feel professional, even though I'm not, but it gives me that sense like, okay, it doesn't look janky. You know, if I get up close and like a couple of those screws aren't like perfectly millimeter, one's a millimeter higher, I see that, but it just gives you that like, you know, essence. So yeah, things are coming along. If you see anything you like or don't like or want to know more or criticize, you know, leave me comments, tips or tricks, Tony Hawk style, anything you want to know, let me know. I appreciate everything. I'm super stoked on this scene though. It's kind of, even on like a big monster layout like this, it's kind of hard to do separation of scenes. Like, you know, you got the maintenance yard here and I'm going to do all the hills and stuff, and then a coal mine, and then hills and stuff, and then an industrial park. And then, you know, this scene and this side is really spaced out well, but it's, you know, a lot of rural and mountainous. Then into the lumberyard or sawmill, whatever you want to call it. But I mean, other than that, each of the scenes are very, you know, this is one big scene, but each of the scenes are fairly independent from one another and also have their own, you know, character and feel. So super stoked on that. I don't know, I'm kind of rambling now. When I go to edit this video, I'll be like, why do you just talk and talk when you're not showing them stuff? So all good. Again, tips or tricks, Tony Hawk style. Please comment and subscribe. We've got a ton of subscribers in the past 90 days. And the view counts are up heavily too, which I really appreciate. I appreciate all the comments and questions and criticisms. So if you want to know anything more or connect with me, just hit me up. I appreciate you. I'll see you all sooner than later. I do promise I'll get you, so today's October 17th. You'll definitely get 2 more videos before the end of the year. So count on that. But I don't know if it'll be in 2 weeks or in a month. You'll get I always do a Christmas video, so you'll definitely get a Thanksgiving video and a Christmas video. How's that sound? I'll hold myself to that. So, all right. Well, thanks again for everything. See you all soon. And let me know what you think. Train main out.